the whole story from the beginning is, excuse me, many of the victims are working class women, working class girls. I mean, remembering some of these kids involved in this were 10 years old, was the youngest. But they are working class kids, and they feel like their voices have not been heard throughout this ongoing horror show, as you've said, Sebastian. And they're still not being heard properly now. I was lucky enough to speak to one of the victims involved in it. And she said that, you know, even in the inquiry, they are still being treated in such a condescending, patronising way, because they are still white working class women, and they feel that they are not being treated fairly again. Their voices aren't being listened to, Jeremy. And this has been the point of this story from day one.
Yeah.
The racism thing, yeah, it's almost like a sidebar to how these women have been treated by the people in authority, including the police and the council workers who are meant to be looking after them.
There was a conviction recently, and it turned out that this poor girl had gone through some sort of marriage ceremony at the age of 15, and her social worker had been present.
Yeah.
So...
Well, there was one girl who complained to the police who then raped her.
Oh.
I mean, come on, no wonder these women are, you know, they want their voices to be heard, and they don't want a police officer put in charge of the inquiry, given the level of trust.
But is it, we kept being told that there wasn't going to be an inquiry, then there was, then there isn't, and then there's a big inquiry into sex abuse generally in the country, which is so wide it almost doesn't mean anything. Where are we now with this? Is this the single inquiry into grooming gangs or what?
It seems like it, yeah. Well, I think there are local inquiries going on as well, and the big push was for a national one, and this is what we have here. And I think that was the right thing to do in the end, because it seems to be such a issue across the country. We're seeing it pop up in various towns, and such a horrendous thing. And we need answers, as you say, Dawn. There were women and girls who were overlooked, and I think it is a class issue. I think it is because they were white and working class, and to many extents...
Well, political correctness as well. They just thought, this is cultural, we don't want to get into it, you know.
Well, there is that element to it, and that's why we haven't been able to talk about it, and many of the girls themselves felt silenced if they did go to the police to say, you know, this has happened to me. And was like, yeah, but it's sort of like it's a group of Pakistani men. We can't go down that route. We'll be accused of being racist. Meanwhile, there were girls being raped on our streets.
Right, well, I do hope we finally find out every detail of this awful period in our recent history. A Home Office spokesman said it was committed to delivering a robust, thorough inquiry, and that any suggestion the inquiry is being watered down is completely wrong.